seen her train people. So the way that she like really paints a picture to help people understand, not just learn like the surface level, but really get things. And to see her grow as a leader and grow her own personal brand has just been really exciting. So I feel really honored to get to be here and get interviewed by you today, because I know the other powerhouse women that are in your lineup of interviews. So I feel really honored. So thank you for having me.
Well, you are most welcome. And again, thank you for joining us. So now we're going to get into the nitty gritty. So tell me, how long have you been with Bedroom Kandi?
Oh my gosh, I actually just this month, I'm celebrating 5 years at our corporate office.
All right. Woo-woo.
Yeah. It's been crazy because I came in kind of in the early days, just, about 3 years in, and to see where we've grown from being the beginning and our core team to seeing what we've turned into today has been really remarkable.
And Selena said, congrats to you.
Thank you.
So tell me, 5 years ago, why did you join?
Oh, gosh. Well, again, without going too far back into my story, is I had come to a place in my career where I had years of experience in network marketing. One of my goals when I had run network marketing businesses for myself was that I always wanted to go back to school, and I wanted to finish that bachelor's degree that I never got to finish, and that I really was passionate, and I wanted to figure out what I was great at. I wanted to be able to go and get advanced degrees. And that is what I did. I got degrees in psychology, and I went on to study master's studies in industrial organizational psychology. I wanted to understand people and how they make great businesses. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of interesting if you look at my career history, because there's all these little skills that I was picking up really in pursuit of an opportunity like this. And so this industry is about like, your network is your net worth, right? It's the people you know. And knowing someone related to this business, knowing one of Kandi's partners, gave me a foot in the door for this brand. And having been an intimacy consultant in the past with a brand that had a really great reputation, when I first became an intimacy consultant, I can't go too far back into that, but what I'm trying to say is when I saw Bedroom Kandi, it's hard not to give it all away, because it's what set Bedroom Kandi apart. It wasn't just that I was like, oh wow, Kandi Burruss. I look at the products, oh wow, these are so sexy. It was, look at the quality of these products. Mm-hmm. Look at the thoughtfulness and like the luxury packaging. This is not like the gross plastic concealed stuff in the sketchy stores. And that there was this like really close attention to health. And again, in my own personal story, like health and nutrition, and that's part of my background. So when I saw that there was this brand that paid such close attention to the ingredients in their products and the materials they used, I was like, is it possible to have something so sexy and so quality and I can still afford it? How do I be a part of this? And
absolutely. I love our packaging too, to the point where I have a box of boxes. Like I cannot throw, I'm so serious, I cannot throw boxes away.
I'm laughing because I know this problem.
And it's fun to use at events, when you don't want to have your actual products out on display. Right. I can use those sexy boxes. So I totally understand that. So when you first came in, what is the most exciting change that you've seen in Bedroom Kandi? And I know there's so many.
Yeah, it is really hard to put my finger on like any one thing, but what I can say is this started as one passionate woman's dream to give other people a really good, easy, viable like business opportunity. It was something you could feel really great about, not something that you felt like you had to, something that just felt like a natural extension. And, every step of the way for the development of this business has been really intentional. And the growth of our leaders, I think, is probably my favorite part. Like not just the increase in numbers in our community, but knowing the individuals that have been here for years and seeing how they've taken advantage of opportunities like yourself. You're a great example of women who've tapped into the system and said, like, we have industry giants like Ms. Dora Chambers available at your disposal, and taking advantage of her coaching, because you can't be the successful thing without having a coach helping you stay focused and like staying committed. I've seen all of you, like, again, industry powerhouses, Dr. Rachel Ross, you know, seeing people commit to themselves and say, I'm worth the investment of pursuing the credentials and the skill sets. And above all the fun makeup and the sex toys and the products that I love, my passion is about seeing women succeed and grow and have the life that they've dreamed of. So honestly, I get the tingles knowing the individuals, because like, we are growing, but not to the size that we don't all really know each other. So I know the women and men who have spent years alongside Kandi and her partners building this brand. And it's exciting to see everyone's, like, kind of the theme lately has been, you know, everyone leveling up together. And that just doesn't mean like earnings in the previous month, but like, I see growth in your own personal brands. I see accomplishing goals. There's a lot of celebration in the work that I do.
And I can only imagine. You get to touch kind of everybody. And like you said, it's big, but it's not too big, because you're the director, executive director, but just about everybody. You know who's in there. When someone says, hey, this is so-and-so, oh, hey, and that's a huge thing in any industry, in any business. So that personability is awesome. And speaking of that, what do you feel like sets us apart from some of the other similar places? What sets us apart?
Like, again, the community and that support and that energy. Like, it can get kind of like cutthroat competitive sometimes in various places. And I think that at Bedroom Kandi, the core of our mission is that we celebrate diversity and that we pursue inclusivity. And, I've been on the receiving side of like being a client at a party with a company that didn't have that attention and awareness to making everyone feel like they had a place, they had a safe place. And I think that's one of the things that we really excel at, is that we know how to build a community. We know how to support people in whatever phase of their journey that they're in. And then, of course, like, there's the Kandi piece. This isn't just cool products and a great program, but your mentor, the person you get to literally every day, she's a model for us. Each month she gets on community calls and like, she brainstorms with y'all on different things you can do to implement your business. Being able to be a part of that network, being able to access that kind of knowledge and insight is just not something that, I don't know, I've not been able to get into a circle like that anywhere else in my life. And so there's just so many things that really blow me away about BK.
Me too. I genuinely enjoy it, because I always say, like, I'm not the salesperson, but it never feels like that. It never feels like I'm selling anything. I'm actually just talking about products that I love every day, and that we use literally every day. Mm-hmm. And that's definitely a beautiful piece. So tell me, how does BK keep its audience engaged?
I mean, I think part of it is, again, it's like Kandi's hustle. She's really invested in this brand. And I think part of like keeping the excitement of BK alive is she's often bringing Bedroom Kandi into other endeavors that she's engaging in, like the Escape Tour or her dungeon performances, or like anytime she's out speaking at women's empowerment expos. She's always leading by example and keeping things exciting. And in that personal growth and development, like, she's doing, like, look at how she's trying to help other people level up. She's got her Money Making Mondays series now, where she interviews people that she looks to for insight into making incredible decisions in your business and personal financial life. Like, how cool is that? How cool is that?
I do love that we're a part of Kandi's network. Like, we're the business partners. within her business. You know, she created this avenue, but we're always a part of it. You know, like you said, when she had the escape tour, we were there. The dungeon stops, we were there. It's like she makes sure that the little sisters, you know, how your big sister go out and your mom says, you got to take your little sister with you.
Yeah.
And yeah, and your little siblings, because you have your little brothers too. So I think that is super cool, and she just does it without a hesitation. I think it's like we're definitely a part of her.
But you notice, like, I'm sorry, is outside the Kandi piece, because I'm sorry, I'm a little fangirly still, because after 5 years, I just talked with her yesterday, and I just, you know, she still like lights me up and makes me feel giddy and all of that, and is incredibly inspiring. But, you know, you asked me about like how we keep things fresh at BK and keep excitement up and all of that. And I think part of it is that, so again, one of the magical things is that we, like, me and my role in the, you know, keeping our program exciting and appealing and keeping awesome products in our line is, I know what it's like to be a consultant and ask the company that I'm repping to consider products that I know that my customers want. And I know how disappointing it is when those things don't ever happen. Mm-hmm. And in my role, I have an opportunity to be like, I know what it's like to be a consultant, and I get to take feedback from our leaders and consultants in the field. And so we're always finding out, you know, what do our consultants want to add to our collection? What are their clients interested in? What's important to them? And so we're always like evolving and refining our brand. We always hold true to what our philosophy is, but like, spoiler alert, we're releasing some really cool stuff this summer. And it's a direct result of a meeting I had with our top leaders and a conversation we were having about like kind of the state of the world and what's going on with our clients and what's going on in our businesses. And it was just like, that's so exciting. And it keeps business internally for, you know, you and me so exciting. And in turn, we're always there bringing something new and excellent to our clients as well. So there's always a reason to party with us.
Speaking of Miss Kandi, how is it working with Kandi?
I did not know what to expect. I didn't know if I'd even get to meet her. I was like, I don't know what the deal is. I don't know what I found out. Nope, she's real. It's not just a face. She's actually engaged in her business. Getting to see her in real life, especially because the nature of her work, reality TV and all of that. 5 years in, and I told you, like, I still get really like giddy and excited. She inspires me. It is mind-blowing that I can have a one-on-one conversation with someone I admire so much, because entrepreneurship is such a thing close to my heart, and it's something that inspires and ignites my soul. And like I said, a thing I like to share with other people, to have the ultimate entrepreneur, person who has not only achieved success early in life, but sustained it and done what experts tell you to do, to diversify it, to bring in all of the right people to help you make the right decisions. She's a model for everything that I seek to be, and to be able to see that excellence is real, it's genuine. Her work ethic is like, y'all see it. You know, we go to our convention weekends, and those are long weekends, and she's there from start to finish. And if she steps out of the room, it's because she's like doing something else, like recording for Real Housewives, or doing some other like mad mogul stuff, or interviewing with somebody across the nation on a national platform. She's constantly like just reaching new heights. And it's so cool to see that for all of the reality show stuff and the celebrity tabloid garbage and all of that, when people say that Kandi is like the realest person out there, you know, and when it comes to like, I see how she's become the success that she is, because I have witnessed her passion, I have witnessed her work ethic. It's wild. And 5 years in, she's still like such a fangirl. I'm embarrassed, but not.
I can only imagine seeing somebody who works that hard. Because I always tell anybody who I meet, who you see is who you get. Kandi is Kandi is Kandi. She's a person, a mother, an entrepreneur, a wife, a daughter. You know, she is exactly, genuinely who you see. The first time I met her, I was like, oh, wow. You know, it was during convention, you know, and it's definitely, she's doing moving and grooving. And I was like, hey, my daughter, she was 12 at the time. Can you just say hi to her? I was on the video thing and she took 5 seconds out of her time, literally, to speak. And I was like, that just was everything for me, because that's my kid. And you made sure that my kid was happy. So, and she's a person first.
Yeah.
So I definitely love that. And Selena did say she agrees. She truly admires hers. So how big is the BK team? And I'm not talking about the consultant team. I'm talking about the people who are behind the scenes working with this big consultant team. I want people to know how hard you guys work. How big is that team?
Well, you know, COVID definitely changed life for us. But honestly, it's like a dozen of us that make all the moving pieces work. And like our company is unique in that most other companies of our nature kind of like they buy products that other people have made and then they put their own packaging on it. And from time to time we do that stuff too. But for the most part, we develop our own formulas from start to finish. You know, we've been talking with our leaders about what it's like to manufacture our own products, things that are unique design for us, things that, you know, again, we pay attention to those ingredients and the quality of our products. So there's a lot of moving parts and we've got all of these really cool lines now. So, but again, like I said, our founders are really hands-on in the day-to-day business. But there are some, I got to shout out the powerhouse women, because this is a women-run business and it touches an international scale. And I'm just really proud to, whether it is inside my corporate office, which is this office wherever now on, which my favorite. But, you know, we work with a really passionate team, both in the field and in the office. And, you know, there's an enormous commitment. And like myself, when people come and work for Bedroom Kandi, they stay at Bedroom Kandi for a long time. The team members we have been there around the same length of time that I have as well. Yeah. So really proud of what we built with you.
Now, earlier you mentioned convention. So let's talk about convention. For all those people who are joining in who, you know, don't know a whole lot about us as a company, what is convention?
Okay. So we get together once a year because it's really important too. There are a number of things as an entrepreneur that you do to keep yourself at the top of your game. You've got to constantly be polishing your skills, learning more, doing professional development, expanding your network, increasing your credentials, staying motivated and excited, and like finding new tools so that like as you're getting clear and setting new goals, figuring out how you're going to achieve those goals. And, you know, as an individual entrepreneur, that's a lot to juggle, right? And this is one of the perks of working in this industry is that as an organization, we know that we've got to get together on a regular basis to do all of those things because there is so much power in these things together. We can learn from more incredible speakers. Our energy just like bounces off of each other. And because we're a bigger company, we also use this time to get together and celebrate because those goals are awesome. But man, it feels so good to celebrate reaching those goals together. So usually we get together in Atlanta every year and it's like 4 days of, like I said, learning, development, growing our business, learning from, you know, hearing from Kandi herself and getting to talk with her one-on-one, hearing about her vision for the business and learning about new products and learning from our product development partners. So you can learn in depth from the people who created these products. And it's really cool because one of the things that we do at Bedroom Kandi, while sometimes we partner with, you know, some of the biggest leaders in the industry, you know, there's a couple of products that we brought in specially that we didn't make because because they're world class. And we're not, we're about that intellectual property. So, but when we develop a lot, especially a lot of our body care line, we really love making our products in the United States. And because the foundation of our business is about helping build entrepreneurs and uplifting that, we love it when we can partner with individual entrepreneurs. So things that you see in our line are like books that we've bought directly from the authors. Women like Dr. Tamara Griffin, one of our favorite past convention speakers. We have an incredible soap in our collection, an activated charcoal body bar, right?
Yes.
Made by an entrepreneur who, oh my God, I personally love and buy her products. So you get to learn from those people that have had that hands-on knowledge in helping build out our collection. You get to hear from the leaders in our community, the women and men who are finding success. So you get to hear their stories, and you get to hear about, what they did to become successful. These are really we say that this is the single most important investment in your business each year, because you really, one of the beliefs that I have in this industry, this philosophy that I have, is that to be successful, you've got to believe in the industry. You've got to understand why this works, why this has worked for over 100 years, and why people continue to come to it, because it is an effective and easy way to start a business. It helps you stay sane and do all of this. You have to believe in your brand. And coming to convention helps reinforce that belief in your brand, because you get to hear from the founder what she envisions. You get to talk to her and give feedback. You get to see the vision and the direction of the company. You get to meet the people, the powerhouse individuals, again, the leaders, Ms. Dora Chambers, the people that have helped this grow. So, and then you have to believe in the products, and you are there to get to check out the new products. Going to convention means not only getting to learn about the new stuff, you literally get to have the new stuff in your hands. You get to be the first people to try it. Remember last year with that new toy sample? It's a super fun weekend. We always, and trying out new stuff. And then of course, like I said, is the big recognition night. And this is where we look back over the past year and we celebrate all of our top performers, and not always people that top the charts, because success at Bedroom Kandi doesn't necessarily mean that you're selling like gazillions of dollars of stuff a month, or you're recruiting like a bazillion people. Listen, if you are, that's awesome. Check's going to be huge. But that's not the measure of success for most people. Most people are like, listen, I'm just doing this on the side. I'm looking for just a regular, consistent thing. And so we don't just celebrate the people that are top in the charts. We also celebrate people that are just consistently working their business. And that's one of the things that I love too, is recognizing that success comes in a number of different forms here in this business, because we're all here for probably some similar things, but we all come here for some slightly different reasons as well.
Yeah, I definitely, I appreciate and enjoy that this business as a whole recognizes kind of the full gamut, because like you said, like me personally, I like money, but I love people more. So it's like the money is the perk, but I love to what we empower, encourage, promote, and show people that we can do things. Having you be able to come in and speak with us, that's huge. And there's not a lot of industries where you can, me as a consultant, can say, hey, let's tell everybody about this business straight from an expert, and you're like, let's do it. And that's not a common thing that you'll find in a lot of places. So it's definitely, this company is a cut above a lot of, and I'm talking about even talking in corporate America type stuff, but especially in this industry. So this is major. And I know, so we all had to do a big pivot in March, things changed dramatically for everybody, and Bedroom Kandi pivoted just like that. Took that nice basketball, turned around. So what is one of these specials that came out of this whole pandemic, where we know, people are not making the income that they used to, or they're just broken mentally and need something to kind of hold them up to keep things sane and sturdy, what is something that we've done to kind of rectify that?
Oh, yeah. These are the moments where I love my job the most, because we get to sit here and say, what is happening? What do people need? What can we do? And how fast can we do it? And that was one of the things at first was one, and actually outside of our office, I got to give it to our leaders. Our leaders really acted. They watched the world around them. And I know a lot of them didn't wait for it to come to the US. They were watching trends worldwide. And I know a lot of our leaders started early on and saying, like, I know we don't really usually do virtual parties, but like, we're going to start practicing and we're going to learn about that for just in case. And at the corporate office, I did the same thing too. I called up one of my coaches and said, we need to do a training on online parties. And in my own head, you know, to the conversations we had was, the world is changing and our client needs are different. And they still need what we do. They still need our self-care products and pleasure products. They still need a break. They still need parties. Like, just because there's a pandemic, our needs for socializing and laughter and fun and escape from stress, all of those things still exist. Yeah. How we have to deliver it is different now. And so we did a couple of things in our program to adapt to that. One, you know, of course, acknowledging that we're making this shift to virtual life and trying to put some tools in place for our consultants. But one of the things that we noticed too is that, yeah, that hard shift in March, our leaders kept doing the work. They kept mentoring their teams. Our consultants kept doing the work with their clients and outreach and, can I fulfill products for you? Can we do parties? But there were a few weeks in the US where everything stopped. We were all trying to find toilet paper. We were all trying to find webcams because we got to do meetings from home now.
Yep.
Like, everything stopped. And you saw that in our business. And when we ran the numbers for the close of March, I was like, this is not for lack of work. This is not for lack of doing everything you possibly can, not for lack of creativity. And like, there's just nothing you could have done for any of this. The most brilliant minds, every business was impacted the same way. And knowing that, when we saw our commission payouts, first we were like, our leaders have been putting in this work and they're getting lesser commission payouts because they're not reaching the level they normally do because all this stuff happened. And so the first thing we did is we enacted a little program where we gave everyone a little bit of like an extra buffer in our leadership compensation, where if you maintained your level, we gave you a little present. If you weren't able to maintain your level, we paid you at your normal level. And so this doesn't really make sense to anyone who's not in our program. But the point is that as a company, we were like, we know that people are working hard, but we know that they're also challenged right now. We know the percentage of our community that's been impacted by layoffs and is trying to get unemployment right now. We also know that in our industry, we don't qualify for any of those protective programs, none of the small business association loans, because of some archaic laws around the fact that we talk about adult things. We talk about that people have genitals and this is offensive. And so it meant that like we couldn't count on, and I think a lot of you in other business types also felt this too, where, you know, anyway, the point is that as a company, we recognize that we need to try to help our people stay excited and focused on business, and knowing that like keep doing the work because it's just a couple rough weeks, that things will even out, that our clients will be back in the mental space to do business with us again, to just write it out for a couple of weeks. When it came to our thinking about other people who were impacted outside of our community too, is, you know, we are always talking about how important it is to have multiple streams of income. We're talking about you don't put all of your eggs in one basket. What happens to that basket disappears for a lot of people. All their eggs were in it. And so suddenly the thing that we've been talking about internally, the whole nation has been paying attention to. And we know that a lot of people were looking all of a sudden to start finding a new stream of income. But we also know that people also are looking to hold on to as many of their dollars as possible because they don't know how long it's going to be till the next paycheck. They don't know how long it's going to be until the unemployment checks start coming, right? And so, our brand started with only one kit option. It costs $499 to start our business, to get all of the tools that you need, the demo products that you need to start your business. Over time, our brand has grown and we've come up with a couple more affordable options to help people join. But we noticed that this was a unique time. Not only do people have the financial need, but like the format of how we're doing business is a little different right now. People, we're not doing in-person parties. People aren't necessarily like smelling our butters or trying our products. So we said, the need is kind of different too. You can run a virtual business with less products on hand. All you need are a couple like training tools. You need access to a dashboard. You need your websites. And that's really all you need to start a virtual business. So right now, while people, and this isn't forever, right? Because when things are back to more normal, business needs will change too. And that's what we do at Bedroom Kandi, is we're always like adapting to what life is bringing us, what our customers, our consultants need to be successful to start a business. So anyway, right now, you don't really need much to run a virtual business except consistency of getting in front of the camera and talking about the brand and tapping into the training opportunities. So we started a $35 kit. It just comes with like right now, this month, it's just one product, and it comes with some training tools in there, the ring cards, so you can show products in your first virtual parties. It gives you the training tools, the language you need. Between our corporate office and our leaders, we work hand in hand to make sure that our new consultants, no matter what kit they buy, no matter how few tools that they start with, that they can launch a business successfully in your first week. That's our goal for you. You spent the money to invest in a business. Now we'll help you get started. And so we keep adapting to things like that. And so along those same lines, we've done something a little bit further down the road too, right? Early on, I talked with our field about the new virtual life and people staying at home for who knows how long, and you all adapted your parties. You made it so that online, you could still bring people together. People could still interact. They could still learn. They could still have fun. You could still show the products and describe them in ways and kind of, demo them with different things that displayed things in ways that, you can't touch anymore. Yeah. And so knowing that this year is like, who knows what 2020 is going to turn into? Honestly, that's another topic for another episode. God. For the safety of our community, as much as my favorite time of year is August in Atlanta, which I never thought I would say my favorite time of year is August in Atlanta, but my favorite time of year is getting together at convention. And this year we had to make the really tough decision for the safety of our community to not have in the middle of a pandemic, having everyone fly in. Kandi, that day when we were on the phone, she was like, so upset. We were recording a podcast that day and I was like, you can't say anything yet. We haven't talked. I had to cut that out because she was so upset. It was like just on her mind because she loves that weekend too. So we couldn't just cancel our annual convention. We couldn't just not get together. Kind of like in our business, we can't just not do parties. Can't not show up, right? We've got to figure out a new way to do things, to keep living our lives, to keep connecting, to keep achieving all of those things that I described before when you asked me about our conventions. And so, I get together with Kandi and Don Juan and other members of our team to talk about, what does a virtual convention look like? How do we keep all of the most important and our favorite elements of our regular convention weekend? And how do we do that in a virtual format? How do we still get together to celebrate, to learn, to develop, to network? How do we keep getting you in connection with those industry powerhouses to further expand your skill set and your knowledge and what you're growing? And, together with input from leaders in the field and a vision from Kandi, because again, what's so cool is I have a mentor who is an expert in events, in people, and engagement. So 2020 is a weird year, and our virtual convention is is different, and it's missing a lot of the things that we normally love, but know that we have Kandi's like creative genius behind this. And that, like, I know from the consultant perspective, like, I know how important convention is and staying connected until we can reschedule our leadership retreat, because while we had to pin that one, we are getting together. I'm giving some hugs. Like, every single one of us is like, we are people, and we need our people, and like, we need our people. So I think I just took 20 minutes to answer a question.
No, but that's the whole point, is letting everybody just know, as the business of pleasure, how we are so diverse, how we make that change, how we welcome everyone into the business with open arms, how we're able to adapt. You know, we're an all-inclusive company. And so we want to reach the masses, and that's what this whole thing is about. Yes, you're right, Selena, knowledge is power for sure. So you are just fine. You know, being able to, because there's still people that don't even know about the business. And then when they hear the name, yes.
Oh.
And when they hear the name, then it's automatically, oh, that's just the toy company. So as much as we can talk about it, which is another reason why I want to do this, is I'm happy about that. So the details matter. I definitely appreciate it. And as we see just on the Zoom call, we have a lot of new people who are getting the chance that if they have any questions, they can ask that. But I'm pretty sure you covered a lot of topics, which is major. We don't get this all the time. And with us being separated, this is how we're going to get it.
Yeah. Well, you know what's funny is, like, our community has kind of been an expert in this. Like, it's a little different than when I was running this business, because like technology was not where it was today. So I did a lot of local growth with my team, where right now, like, all of your teams, everybody's teams are national. Like, we've been doing webinars and Zooms and teleconferences. Like, this has been our mode of business. And I think that's one of the things that has made Bedroom Kandi so successful in all of this, is while everyone else has been struggling to figure out how to adapt to the new normal and figure out technology, we're just like, yeah, just another normal day at work. Like, let me show you how to do it. Come on over here, guys. And that's why people look to us for hosting parties, because they're like, yeah, I know we have all this tech, but like, I don't even know what to do. I don't know what to do when you get a Zoom call. And that's what we've been here for, is to like, this is what we do. Come on in, like, come hang out with us.
Yes, I definitely love it. And Misha says she's late. She's here, but it's okay. This will replay over and over. Make sure I stream it so we can. And I won't take too much of your time, because again, I genuinely appreciate you coming on to give us this information, especially for some of our, because we had a huge growth. So I know I talked about the corporate team. About how big is our consultant team right now?
Oh my gosh, I have to check the number today, because it has been growing like crazy every day. But actively in our program, we've got like 37 or 3,800 right now, which is insane, because if I think back to the number of consultants in our program when we started, was like 700.
That's a huge growth. And we're coming up on year 8 as of August, correct?
Yep.
So in 8 years to see that much growth, and like you're saying, every single day it's steadily growing. That is awesome. And the fact that you are still touching our corporate team, still touching kind of everybody, that is truly amazing. And again, unheard of. Everyone there wants to make sure that everyone is, and we as consultants, we're also connecting with each other.
This is a huge partnership, right? Huge.
It is. And that's why we enjoy saying we're business partners versus, sponsors and all like that, because we work together. We have to. It's not that dog eat dog environment. It's, hey, how can I help you out? This is what I do. Why don't you try this too? So I enjoy it. And then the resource center that corporate provides, you guys provide us with a lot of knowledge. You take the information from some of the industry leaders,
Mhm.
us consultants, you put it in this one place that we can just go to and get it. So
Right.
talk to us about the resources that you all provide for us.
Yeah, so there are a few things that definitely I'm sure make business easier for a consultant, and one of them is like some of the technology that's in place. Your business comes with 2 websites. So you've got your Bedroom Kandi website, which is 18 plus only, and then you got your Kandi Coated makeup site, and it's got some of the soft products. So like that's a tool at your disposal. But most of what you'll find for tools when you log into your Bedroom Kandi dashboard where you do all your business stuff is we've got this Bedroom Kandi Resource Center. And it's an archive of training videos and calls and scripts and documents, marketing materials and business organization tools. Yeah, as we have speakers each year at convention, we kind of add onto this growing library of really interesting information. We have everything from like sexual health infographics, so, and a lot of what we do too, because this is part of what, it's a little bit of my project. I'm a little proud of it, but a lot of what we do is when I'm creating some training materials for you, like anytime, and this is part of, I think, where my consultant experience comes in is like, I know that your tools you use, not just for your own growth, but to help educate your customers. And so we create a lot of content for consultants that is easily shareable to their following. Because like, I think that's one of the pressures for small business, small business owners, entrepreneurs these days is, of course, your presence on social media and feeling like you have to create fresh, exciting, new content every day. Kanya, I don't know how you do it because you constantly have new stuff, but Energizer Bunny has got to be it. But for most of us, and you utilize our tools too, but there's a lot of digital resources in there for you that are easy, just copy and paste, things that you can text to your prospects, digital catalogs so that you don't have to hold on to the 15-pound pile of books in your purse. You can, and I still like, I still like the sexy hardcover stuff, of course, but right, we create a lot of things, again, knowing that, like, to detour a little bit, I've been in the industry long enough that when I started, we didn't have smartphones and like Facebook all the time wasn't a thing. I wasn't taking pictures of stuff on my phone. Business was very different. When I took credit card payments, I took the old carbon copy paper. Yeah.
The knuckle buster.
Yeah, for real. And by the time I ended my business, all of that technology was in place and budding. And so, in my role at Bedroom Kandi, of course, I'm always looking at our business. I'm always looking at trends to see, what products are popular. I look for that kind of feedback from people. But what I also do is I look at industry trends and industry research. And one of the things that our industry experts say that a lot of companies don't pay attention to technology fast enough, that they hold on to the old way of doing things, that you got to print the stuff and you got to, and again, like I'm a fan of doing stuff the old way, but I also believe in embracing technology too. So you'll see that a lot at Bedroom Kandi too, where we encourage you to utilize technology. And what's great is we've been doing this for years and now it's so vital. It's a vital function in your business to know how to do things with technology. So in our resource center, you'll see a lot of these cool, easy to share and easy to use tools. We've got recorded calls in there from our top performers over the years. And I always love, like, when you're first getting started in this business, one of the things that you're trying to figure out first is like how to talk about products, how to talk about the business, how to demo things. And so we love to keep examples of our performers in the field and what they do. And so not only do we have old content that lives in there, but we create new content for you each week, every Friday at minimum, if not like a handful of times throughout the week. I'm working with our team on sending out newsletters for you that are full of content, and these all live in the resource center too. So you can go back over time and go back and dig up these old gold nuggets. So if you're ever looking for new content to share, there's always something in there. Or there's inspiration and ideas on different ways to approach the business, because even though we'll teach you the core concepts of what you're doing in the business, but all of us do the business very differently. Some people do like the standard party demo. Some people, depending on their career background and skill set, some people come in and talk about from the perspective of long-term relationships. Some people are coming in and talking from the place of personal health and wellness. You know, it's really cool to see just the so many different ways that people take this business and really make it their own. So when you peek into the resource center, like, I'm like a kid in the candy store in there, because I was a consultant. Like, there's so many different things that you could do, or, you know, and be inspired. And what I also hear too from our leaders is that it's a place that they go back to. Mm-hmm. That so frequently, and sometimes it's in the pursuit of helping their newbies, but they're like, you know, I go back and I listen to old like newbie trainings and the kind of compensation plan fundamentals and things that kind of give you a refresher on the business. And what I love hearing is like, you heard it once and you were at one point in your business and you took one thing from it. And then you go back and you're at a different place in your business. Your goals are different. Your skills are different. Your commitment is different. And you hear something totally different from that training. And so it's kind of just like a bottomless repository of things to inspire you and tools to help you do your business each day. And really also, because I'm a big fan of harnessing technology and because I am not awake 24 hours a day to answer questions, it's also a place to go for like the basic frequently asked questions, things about our program, or like, what happens when I do this? So, you know, I try to build out like hundreds of FAQs so that, because again, I know that we all live in different areas of the country. There's different time frames. Some of you are working in the middle of the night when your children are sleeping. Some of you are, you know, early morning doing this at 5 a.m. All of us are doing this at different times of day. So I like knowing that at 24 hours a day, that there are resources that you can access to find all the answers to your questions. So that's a little peek into our resource center.
I love that resource center. And you are absolutely right. When you go back and look at things, you hear something that you didn't think about before because maybe you just didn't know about it. So, you know, for all consultants on here, definitely check back and forth with that resource center. So you all did a wonderful job with that. I'm going to wrap us up, but I'm going to let you have a final word, just kind of about the business as a whole. For everybody out there watching, I have several devices going. I definitely appreciate everybody for joining us. If you have questions, definitely put those in the comments. I'll make sure I'm checking back and forth. And you are definitely on my page, so you're able to see some of those questions as well. You know, if you were sent here by a consultant, absolutely get back with that consultant, and they may have some answers for you as well, because what we want to make sure is, if you were here to get a little bit more insight, get back with that consultant to bridge that gap and come on and join us, because that's what this is all about, is being able to create new business owners. And, you know, I have 5 children of my own. So my goal is to just be that leader that they know that, yes, having a job is awesome. However, you can create your own way. You know, I was literally just let go from my job like 3 weeks ago. But I didn't panic. I honestly didn't panic, because I know when I made the decision to come into Bedroom Kandi about almost 3 years ago, I wanted it to be this solid piece of growth for me. You know, it got me into the program with Dr. Rachel. And so this is a continual thing for me. Actually, it's going on 4 years soon. But I didn't panic, because Bedroom Kandi is that foundation that I've created. So this is like my baby, and all of you guys out there, that's your baby, your brand, you're growing it. And I don't see this company going anywhere anytime soon. So that's the beautiful thing about it. So wrap us up with your final words just about Bedroom Kandi as a whole, and how people can come on board, and, you know, just more about us.
Yeah. Well, let me end with this, is that I'm speaking as somebody who, I came into this industry because my life was at an all-time low, and I didn't have any support, and I didn't have any resources, and I didn't have any credentials, and I did not know how I was going to dig myself out. And by sheer luck, someone happened to go to a party and took a wild, uncharacteristic risk of her own to check out this business opportunity. And as a brand new business owner, she had the courage, for real, I can say this as a new consultant, she had the courage to come to me and say, I'm starting a new thing. You should check this out. She didn't know what was going on in my life and she didn't know how much I needed it. She was just like, oh, here's a girl who works hard and does stuff and she might be interested in this. And she didn't know what door she was opening for me. She didn't know what a gift it would be. And I went from customer to host to consultant to team leader to escaping an abusive relationship, to restarting my life, to conquering every one of my life goals. And I'm not saying that this business was the direct answer to all of those things, but this business gave me that foundation that you talked about. It gave me the stability. It gave me the thing that when everything else was in utter chaos, I had that control. And I hope that in this interview that not only that you learned a little bit about Bedroom Kandi and our philosophy, but that you see one of the individuals behind the scenes that works passionately and 5 years, I will say tirelessly, crazily, without end, because I know I have lived what this business does for people. And with the educational background that I have, and a minor in biology because nutrition is also part of my background, I know Bedroom Kandi is unique in its desire to take care of people and to pay attention to the wellness and pay attention to the health. And I know that the philosophy behind the founders is about the community. It is 100%. And I can tell you as somebody who has heard all those behind the scenes conversations, it is about being a platform to build other people up with integrity, with things that they can feel great about. And I hope that you thank the person who invited you to this conversation today. And I hope that you wholeheartedly take them up, just open mind. We've got a $35 kit right now. Even though when this kit isn't on special, we've got $99. I don't know where else you can legitimately start a business, have a website, have product, have all that stuff for $99. Right now, people have felt the reality of needing multiple streams of income and providing a foundation for themselves and having something that a boss or an owner can't take away from you. So I hope that you've gotten some insight from today, and just know that even though I probably just talked for an hour, literally join our community and see how many more hours I can talk, because I'm always thrilled to come and have these conversations. You know, Kanya, I share the passion that you do and like the rest of our community does. And I can't wait to welcome everybody else who's willing to embrace this opportunity. And right now I don't know that we've announced it to the community yet, so this might be something special to announce here. But yay, I love making announcements with you because you might surprise me, Miss Ford, with the let's have a BK nationwide takeover and announce it on my call. Yes, I love this woman. Right? I love this. So let me make an announcement here on your podcast. We talked about our virtual convention, how excited we are to still get together. Everyone's still getting their swag bags and their fun products and everything ahead of time. You know, we're still doing life together here at Bedroom Kandi. And so we welcome so many new people into the community. We wanted to make sure that our newest consultants also take advantage of convention, also engage in that weekend, also, you know, get their hands on the new stuff early. So we actually updated our kits today so that 2 of our kits actually have your virtual convention ticket included in them. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So we changed up the kit contents a little bit, but you can check out our entrepreneur kit is $499. Now this is 69% off MSRP value, and that kit includes your convention ticket. So in August, you get to tune into all these trainings, you get to check out all the recognition, but you're also going to get like $125 plus swag bag delivered to your door. And if you're not making that level of commitment, that $499, because $500 is a lot for a lot of people, we also have our executive kit. Our $199 kit is also going to be a kit that includes our virtual convention ticket and products in it. So
that is awesome.
never done before. And this is a year full of things we have never done before, right? So in that theme, let us embrace everything we've never done before, everything we've dreamed of having. Like, the world is on fire. What else do you have to lose? Like, let's
Right.
all of this, right? So thank you for letting me make my announcement on your show.
Absolutely. This is why I love, listen, folks, if you can't figure out why you keep seeing me post all the time about this doggone business, these are the things, like, wow, that is awesome.
Yeah, so see, like, it's always something exciting here at Bedroom Kandi. And it's funny because when you asked me earlier, what do we do to keep things exciting? Like, it's always something, right? Like, we're always doing something cool and new and making moves, making the most of whatever we have going on. So, anyway, I just stop me from talking because no, I will sit here and we'll talk all afternoon.
Well, I definitely appreciate that. I love the exclusives too. That was awesome. But I thank you so much for coming on here and giving us some insight into this business of pleasure. I'm going to probably give you a quick call after this and just thank you again because I so appreciate you. And everybody that's watching, again, get back with the consultant that invited you here. If you're not working with anyone, definitely reach out to me and we can get you started in your business of pleasure. I am Coach K and we are out. Good night, everybody.